Hello future CS, welcome back to my channel again. So if you are a CA Inter student, especially gearing up for the advanced accounting paper, then this video is just for you. So today we are diving into the Success at CA Exams webinar as released by the BOS, which was specifically conducted for advanced accounting. So this is a summary video of both series 1 and series 2 of the BOS webinar. So we'll break down the key highlights, changes in focus areas and smart insight, and also the exam pattern and key tips to write the exam, time management in exam, as well as some common errors committed by students in the previous exam. So this will all help you to align your preparation with the institute's expectations. So whether you are preparing for the upcoming attempt or planning ahead, this video will give you a crystal clear roadmap. So let's get right into it. Also guys, if you are new to my channel, I request you all to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. So guys, when you visit my channel, in the playlist section, you can see there is a separate playlist for CA Inter exams. So in this playlist, you can find different type of study plan, subject specific guidance and much more videos. And there is also a playlist for CA GPT for students. In this playlist, I have made different videos in which I have shown as to how you can use CA GPT while preparing for your exams. So do visit my channel and watch these videos. And there are various other playlists as well which might be helpful for you. So first let's discuss the key points that were provided in this webinar. So for your upcoming May 2025 exams, the relevant notified sections of the Companies Act 2013 and legislative amendments including relevant notifications, circulars, rules and guidelines issued by the regulating authority up to 31st October 2023 will be applicable. And for the May 2025 attempt, the study material for paper 1 advanced accounting is July 2024 edition. And one important tip which was given was while you are studying, after you study each AS, when you are going through the illustrations, if there are any problems with new adjustment, you can mark it with the highlighter and keep so that next time when you are revising, you can concentrate more on that. Another important suggestion given was to revise the syllabus as much as possible because revision or repetition leads to retention of concepts easily. The more you revise, the more easily you will be able to remember the concept. Also, when you are studying for the exam at that time itself, prepare short notes and keep. Because for your exam only 1 or 2 days gap will be left. So at that time you can use these notes. Or you can also use Saransh. So the institute has released Saransh, which is the summary form of notes. This is available on the BOS knowledge portal itself. So you can revise from this also. Also, another important point was it is important to study the case scenario booklet. So recently the institute has released the case scenario booklet in which different MCQs are given. So it is very important to solve all the problems from this and also go through the MTP, RTP and previous year papers as well and attempt MCQ from MCQ portal as well. And after reading each AS, go through all the illustrations and practical problems and also test your knowledge questions given in the study material. Some students had doubt as to how to answer questions relating to AS. So for this some suggestion was given. First of all in the question paper, in the descriptive part of the question paper, the first question which is compulsory that will be based on accounting standard itself. So some students had asked as to how to approach this. So some suggestions were given, like you have to follow three parts for this. So the first step will be to write the accounting standard applicable. So write the accounting standard name and number. And if you do not remember the correct para, do not quote wrong paragraph. If you remember the correct paragraph only, then write the para number. This will be the step 1, how to answer this question. Then coming to step number 2, here you will do the calculation part. So in the question, if they have given any calculation required, you will be calculating that. And then the third step will be to give the conclusion. So marks will be allotted for each of this step. So this is how you will be approaching the questions relating to accounting standards. And also it is very important to write legibly and also fast in the exam. So first 15 minutes you will be given the reading time. It is very important to utilize this first 15 minutes effectively. So first you will be reading all the questions. Then you will decide as to which question you will not answer. So you have one choice, right? So after reading all questions, first you will decide as to which question you will not be answering. And then you will decide as to in which sequence you will answer the question. And start writing the answer for the question which you know the answer best. So this will create a good impression in the mind of the examiner. And also one advice was given as to after studying each accounting standard, you can go through the BEAR Act as well. That is the BEAR accounting standard as well. The link to that was provided in the webinar. I will attach that link in the description below. You can go and check it out from there. And also for the CA Inter exam, Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013 Division 1 is applicable. So in your exam, all the balance sheet, P&L and all the accounts have to be prepared in this format itself. So learn the Schedule 3 format fully and follow this itself in the exam. So now we will see the pattern of the question paper. So 30 marks will be for MCQ and balance 70 marks will be descriptive type. So in descriptive part, there will be totally 6 questions of 14 marks each. Out of this, question number 1 will be compulsory question, and out of remaining 5 questions, you will have to attempt any 4. And question 1 is compulsory, so that is based on accounting standard. And apart from that, in any one question, there might be an internal choice available. And wherever necessary, suitable assumptions can be made and indicated in the answer by the students. Also, working notes should form a part of the question. And for MCQ part, which is for 30 marks, there is no choice in this. You will have to attempt all the questions. The next point highlighted in this webinar was regarding how to manage time in the exam. So as we all are aware, there is only limited time in the exam. So the first point was in each of the question there might be subparts. So for example, in question number 2, there can be subparts as A, B and C. So it is important to attempt all the subparts at one place itself. You can write the subparts in any sequence. For example, you are answering question 2 and there are 3 subparts A, B and C. So you can attempt first subpart B, then subpart A and then subpart C. That is fine. But all the 3 parts, that is A, B, C, all should be attempted at one place itself. So suppose you are attempting any question and you know the answer to subpart A and C, and suppose you do not know the answer to subpart B, at that time you will write the answer to subpart A and C and then you will leave some space for the subpart B, and later on you will come back to it and you will write the answer there. So you can leave some space, and also in case your balance sheet doesn't tally, just spend some 5-10 minutes on that. Do not be stuck on that question itself. If the balance sheet doesn't tally, try for 5 more minutes. And in case it still doesn't work out, just leave that question for time being and answer all the other question, and then later on you can come back to it. And some more suggestion was given for time management. So totally in the exam we have 180 minutes. So out of this, it was suggested that for MCQ, you should spend 30 minutes. And then in the descriptive part, totally 6 questions will be there. First question is compulsory. Out of balance 5, you will be attempting 4. So totally in descriptive, you will be attempting 5 questions. So for 5 questions, you have to take 25 minutes each approximately. So 25 minutes into 5 questions is 125 minutes. So for MCQ, you will be taking 30 minutes. For descriptive portion, totally you will be taking 125 minutes. So balance you will be having approximately 20 minutes left. So this should be used for revision purpose. So you will have to go through your entire answer sheet once and you have to see if you have done any error or any correction you can do. Or if you are stuck in any question or if anywhere balance sheet had not tallied, this is the time where you will be going back and you will be resolving that part. So this suggestion was given for time management. And one more important point to be kept in mind while studying the advanced accounting is we have to be aware that there are few interlinking topics. Various topics are interlinking in this subject. So for accounting standards like AS 14, we have to understand them thoroughly as they apply across multiple chapters like amalgamation, corporate restructuring, etc. And some chapters may not always directly mention a standard, but still require you to apply one or more standards while solving the questions. And also in the exam also, in the case scenario questions, it might be possible that multiple AS are involved in the question. So when you read the question, you must be able to connect fast as to which AS, which point relates to which AS. And when the MCQs are given below, you should be able to relate fast as to which AS concepts you have to apply to solve those questions. So corporate restructuring chapter should be studied along with the relevant provisions of the Companies Act 2013. For example, while solving buyback of shares, both Companies Act and relevant standards are applicable. So we should keep this in mind. Some chapters are interconnected. So it is better to read those interconnected chapters and related topics together. So always aim for an application based approach. So mostly this advanced accounting is a practical based subject. However, do not ignore the theory part as well. Sometimes theory questions are also asked in the exam. So some students had a doubt like how to attempt theory question. So some suggestion was given for this as well as to how to attempt theory question. So a 3-step approach was suggested for this. First, read the given information carefully to understand as to what is being asked in the question. Then step 2, think about the relevant concept and how they apply to the question. Finally, write your answer clearly and concisely, focusing on precision and relevance. So guys, do not ignore the theory part as well. This is also very important. Theory questions also come in the exam. Next, some light was thrown on how to attempt questions in the exam. So it is very important to give necessary working notes as a part of the main solution. So as there is step-by-step marks allotted, it is very important to give working notes. And also if there are many approaches to solve a problem, mention the assumption considered in the solution, since it is based on which solution is derived from. So clearly mention your assumption in the notes part of the problem. The approach selected should depend upon the information and requirement of the problem. In case of questions based on practical application of accounting standard, support the answers with provision of the accounting standard. Also, as mentioned earlier, do not mention wrong accounting standard, name, number or paragraph in the solution. In case of not being sure, better not to quote the wrong number or wrong paragraph. So when you're studying, at least study the accounting standard name and number correctly. In case you cannot remember the paragraph, leave that part, but at least name and number should be quoted in the exam correctly. And while solving MCQ based question, what you can do is you can use last sheet of your answer booklet to do the calculation. So while arriving at the answer of the MCQ question, to do the calculation, in the last sheet of your answer booklet, you can give heading as rough work calculation. And you can do the calculation here and then you can mark in the OMR sheet. Now coming to some do's and don'ts to be followed during the exam. First, let's see the do's part. Focus on the theoretical and conceptual understanding of each topic for development of analytical skill. So ensure you understand the concept clearly. Do adequate written practice of practical and numerical question. This will also help you in time management and attaining speed. And this will also lead to coordination between your hand and mind. So as we discussed earlier as to how much time should be allocated for each question. So when you're studying itself, you can keep a timer and try to answer the question within that same time. So that in the exam also you will be able to write fast. Be careful while using the information given in the question for solving the problem. Ensure you take the correct information from the question. Assess your preparation level by attempting previous year paper under the exam conditions and also attempt the mock test paper under the exam condition. Keep yourself well hydrated. Do not eat junk food. Have only nutritious food and take care of your health. It is very important to take care of your health. And also take adequate sleep during your exams as well. Revise the notes that you had prepared while studying. So one day before the exam, go through the notes or saransh. Also, while studying, whatever pen, calculator and other stationery you are using, get the same to the exam hall as your hand would have already got used to that. And also ensure you carry extra set of stationery. In case your pen stops writing in between the exam, you should have extra pen and extra calculator as well. Now coming to some don'ts. Do not go for selective study at the time of preparation or revision. It is very important to study all the topics from the syllabus. Do not get anxious or do not take tension before the exams. Be confident in your preparation and be positive. Do not discuss with your friends as to how much they have studied and how much you have studied. This will create more anxiety. And also in the exam, do not get scared by seeing the case scenario question because sometimes the case scenarios might be lengthy. So first read the case scenario and then analyze it and then read the MCQ related to that and then try to relate it with the AS or the provision and then try to answer it calmly. Do not panic in the exam. Now coming to the most important part of this webinar, that is the commonly committed errors by student in the past exam. I request you all to get a notebook and pen and note down this part so that you do not commit these errors in your exam, so that you do not lose out on any marks. So the first error was many students did not provide all the necessary working notes which formed part of main solution. Next error. Students did not mention the assumptions considered while working the solutions which led to deduction of mark. For example, in some of the question it was required to prepare cash flow statement. But the question did not mention whether the students have to use direct method or indirect method. In this case, any method can be used. But clear assumption should be given in the notes part stating which method has been used. Next error was there was a twist in some of the questions which put the students in the state of confusion which was ultimately reflected in their solution or answer. So it is very important to go through the question thoroughly and carefully as well. Next error was student gave irrelevant details for small questions, thereby spending unnecessary time on the question which is not required. It is advised that students should restrict their answer according to marks allocated to that question. So read the requirement of the question carefully and answer accordingly. In standard-based questions, students were unable to substantiate their conclusion by applying the provisions of the standard. And in some of the questions, students exhibited lack of in-depth understanding of concept of various topics. Hence, it is very important to understand the concept first. And one of the most common errors committed by student is wrong carrying forward of the amount from one page to another, or wrong carrying forward of amount from one account to another. This led into mistake in all further computations wherever that amount is used, and hence it led to loss of marks. Many students did not take care of the format of the financial statement, which is also one of the criteria in assessing the knowledge of the students. So as mentioned earlier, Schedule 3 of the Companies Act, Division 1, this format itself has to be used in the exam. And another mistake was the answers of the candidates did not reflect the recent amendments taking place in the subject. Hence, ensure you go through all the relevant amendments applicable for your exams. And another common error was some students used wrong figures in the answer. There was mistake while taking the figures from the question. So when you are noting down the figures from the question, be very careful. So guys, that was a quick and powerful summary of the advanced accounting insights from the latest BOS update under the Success at CA exam. Both Series 1 and Series 2 summary has been covered in this video. So guys, remember, this isn't just theory, it's a reflection of what works in the exam. So do watch this video properly, take notes, adjust your strategy if needed, and also stay consistent in your preparation. Also guys, if you found this video helpful, do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more CA exam guidance videos. All the best for your exams, and I will see you all in the next video.